Hey geeks, Akshay this side. Welcome to another special webinar of the boom of jobs in AI, ML, and cloud. I'm really excited today because the guest whom we are inviting, he's a CTO of Appinventiv, which is a next generation tech company, and his name is Sudeep Srivastava. It's my pleasure. It's our pleasure to invite him. So let's start the conversation and let's hear from him himself about the company and everything which is going on in AI, ML, and cloud these days. Hi Sudeep, how are you?
Hey Akshay, I'm good. How are you?
I'm great, Sudeep. So 40 geeks have joined us, and as you know that your company, first please tell us a bit about your company and introduction. And you can also greet our audience.
Sure. Hello everyone. I'm not sure how many people have joined. You mentioned I think around
47. Yeah, 47 right.
People. So hello all everyone. Let me give you some brief about Appinventiv. So Appinventiv, we as Akshay mentioned that we are a next generation technology company. We combine mobile application with new generation tech like AI, ML, blockchain, cloud, and those kind of tech, and make next generation mobile application. So that is how we have been doing, and that is the work that we have done so far. We have started very small. We have started with 10 people in 6 years back, and now we are more than 1,000 people. That's how we have been growing, and our growth journey is still continuing. And we think that maybe in next 2-3 years we will be in a strength count will be around 4,000 5,000 people. So that is how we have been growing. There are a lot of things we'll discuss about when we discuss about AI ML as well. There are a lot of other things that I'll tell you, that kind of applications that we have made, kind of work we have done with across the globe with tech giants. So there are a lot of more things that I'm going to tell you in this webinar.
All right, great. So let's start. What is the let me put up my first question to you. Okay. So, what is the magnitude of this boom? As you said that you're expanding and your employees are increasing and it's going great. So, what is the magnitude of this boom in AI, and what do you think are the reasons for the rise of job demand in these areas of AI, ML, and cloud tech?
Sure. So the magnitude of this boom is humongous. We have all been hearing about AI and ML and blockchain and those kind of technologies a long time. But now people and companies have started realizing its potential. And if I talk in terms of number, AI alone is going to create 58 million jobs in next few years. And similarly in cloud, the cloud service market will be around 331 billion. So you can understand the magnitude of it. So as to the reason, I mean, let me ask you a question. If I say there's something which will give you comfort, it will be very accessible and it will be very safe, will you be interested in it?
Of course. Why not?
So that is what AI is doing. It provides convenience. So now you do not have to go and switch on and switch off the light. You can just ask Alexa or Siri for it. If you
I
want
do
to,
that, by the way, in my home. I do that.
so
I am already a user.
perfect. Yeah. So see, yeah, I mean, everyone is involving in that. You do not have to. So, for example, you want to see, okay, which song is my is good song that I like. You generally have to browse through 10 or 15 songs. Now, Spotify can curate a playlist for you automatically that based on the songs you like. So it is providing convenience and it is giving a lot of values to the users, and companies have started to realize it. Now, when they realize it, they want to give more and more to the users, and when they give more, they want to create more and more applications using AI and ML, and that is what it is creating, this boom. So every day, everything that you use, there's some use of AI and ML, and every company is starting to utilize its potential. Though I would still say we are still at a beginning stage. This boom is something that we are just starting to see. It is going for a long term. It is going to stay for a long term, and it is going to have bigger and bigger impact in our life.
Okay. So basically, Appinventiv creates a lot of applications for other, clients that are based on these guys, right? That's
Yes.
the idea. Okay,
Yes.
great. As you said, Sudeep, that it is creating a lot of jobs, right? But generally, a myth is that it might take a lot of jobs. In some instance, it will also. I just want to know the overall impact. So my next question to you is, what first of all, what do you think caused this boom? I think you already mentioned about it, that how it makes your life so efficient and easy in so many ways. But is artificial intelligence overall increasing or decreasing jobs? That's the main question
Yeah,
over here.
I mean, with any new technologies, this fear comes
Yeah,
when
real.
the computer was there, when the internet was there. When we were starting with it, there was a fear that it is going to take job. Now you and me can have this webinar. People can ask questions because of these two things. If we would not have internet and we would not have laptops or
Yeah.
computers, you would imagine in COVID times what will happen, how many jobs would have been lost, and what
Mm,
impact it would have. So yeah, so any new technologies, there always be a concern that it is going to take job, and let me tell you, it is going to take some job, but it is creating much more jobs and much more better jobs. So
mm,
30 years back we might be working on something else, which not be as productive, as likely that right we are doing, like coding and everything. 30-40 years back it was not available to everyone. Now in India a lot of people are software developer. Almost everyone in this webinar is software developer or
mm.
related
That's
doing
inspiring.
to
Yeah,
IT.
they're aspiring to be. Yeah.
Yeah. So there are a lot of, similarly that will happen with AI and ML. A lot of things, yeah, the mundane tasks like data entry and those kind of things will go, but it will get better jobs, better paying jobs. So Tesla is making auto cars. It can drive itself, but it is not going to make itself. So
Mm,
people will be involved in creating those kind of models, learning from those models, and
mm,
creating more and more values through AI. So
mm.
it is going to have some impact on the job. Based on that, mundane jobs will go, but lot
Mm.
of more jobs, like I
Better jobs.
mentioned, around 58 million jobs in AI alone is going to be created. So there will be more and more jobs in this.
Okay. Okay. So, mm, how long do you think, Sudeep, these technologies will stay in trend? And
Mhm.
are there any particular industries that are creating jobs in this tech?
So it is going to stay. I don't see any end of it right now. From whatever you touch, whatever you do, you are involving these technologies some way or
Mm,
another. So you open your phone, it unlocks based on your fingerprint or face ID. It is AI and ML. You open Uber to call and a cab. Again, it shows where you are currently based on your location. It automatically suggests
yeah.
the place you have been. It is AI and ML. When you want to go from one place to another, open Google Maps. It is
Yeah.
AI and ML. When
Even
you
Netflix, Prime, we watch the streaming services, the
Yeah,
recommendation software is there. That is
recommendation
also.
engine, that is AIML. In in Instagram or Snapchat, you have filters on your face and those kind of thing. That is AI and ML. So everything that you are doing right now is involving AI and ML in
Mm,
some way. And again, it is just the beginning. It is going to be more and more. And when you have fully automated homes, you'll everything will be done by voice command. When we have more and more data based on whatever services that we are using, the content and the recommendation engine will be more better. You can see more and more related movies, related streams. So it is going to stay. It is not that something that is not be after a decade it will not be there. So I think this is something that we should be very interested. I'm very excited to see how it is going to impact us in future.
mm.
It's already showing some of the impact, but I still feel there's so much that these technologies can do.
Okay. Okay. And I think it can also create like people generally talk about what issues it can create, like robots getting their own intelligence and creating havoc. You must have heard the stories of Elon
Yeah.
Musk. But what I
I
feel, that's up to us at some like hum pe
Yes,
bhi to have, like how we
yes,
kind of deploy it.
exactly. I think those people have watched too many movies. So so
True.
that is why, I mean, if I tell you one example, like in COVID times, we cannot skip talking about it. So in COVID time, we have created vaccines. Now, how these vaccines are going to impact you after 20 years, how it is decided? It is through AI and ML. So if AI and ML would not have been there, uh, you could not know that these vaccine is going, how it is going to impact in next 20 years. So we have created a model. We have seen that how it is going to impact human species after
Wow.
20 years, and we have something that we can push to the audience. So AI and ML is going to help you in one way or another. I mean, if you do not watch all the movies, you'll see there's lot of good things that is going to create.
I see. Okay. And it makes sense to me because in my life as a user, it has it has a positive impact. Rest all our stories, we don't know, the facts. You can tell me that. All right. So that vaccine thing is very interesting, by the way.
Yeah.
Really. Okay. My next question to you is, please tell us about some more AI and ML and obviously cloud projects that your company is recently working on.
Sure. So we have been very fortunate to work with some of the biggest tech giants around the globe. So we have been working with NASA, we have been working with Adidas, we have been working with KFC, IKEA, Vodafone, and those kind of brands. So these brands have generally presence all over the globe, and we have to rely on cloud tech to build applications for them. And in fact, we build with cloud native, so we have to involve microservices, DevOps, continuous integration and deployment in almost all the projects. So cloud is almost everywhere in all of our projects. Cloud, we
Mm,
implement cloud. But if I
mm,
let me talk about some of the AI and ML projects, I mean these are very interesting projects, and you'll see that how it is impacting a general user. So generally, when you see a learning application, so one application that we made was Japanese to English learning. So what happens is there's stage one, then there's a stage two. It is fixed for everyone. So when I go to this application, you go to this application, it is same. You'll go for stage one, then stage two, then stage three, and then you'll learn. What we have done is it will automatically identify. So there's no predefined stages. So based on your initial questions that you will answer, it will curate a stage for you, and how you perform in that stage, it will curate the next stage for you. So I may be weak in let's say I'm learning English, and I may be weak in vocab, and I may be strong in translation, in grammar, right?
mm,
So it will curate something else for me, and if you do not have the same weakness and same strong points, then it will curate some other level for you. So that is how it is going to help me. So what happens in general learning is, even if I, let's say I'm in class 1, and
mm,
I'm not good in maths, I'm good in something else, in class 2 again the same thing will be applied to everyone, right? Even if someone is good in maths, someone is good in arts, so it automatically, AI can automatically identify which area you are in good, and then give learning to that. Similarly, one of the application that we have made is with IoT integration, where the device is attached to the car,
mm.
and then you can understand that how the performance of the driver. So how many sudden turns that he's taking, how many times he's applying sudden brakes, and
This
based
really
on,
creates problem in drivers. Like, if
yeah,
I imagine my driver,
exactly,
like a home driver,
exactly.
like,
I somehow sometimes, when you do not want to drive and you want to hire a driver, and you do not know him, how will you know that how he is going to drive? And if that data is there, where you see a number that, okay, how many sudden turns, because if you're sending your family, you want to have that information, that how many sudden turns he has taken, how many brakes he has applied suddenly, how much rash speed he's been driving, and based on that there's a number which is very easy to adopt. So out of 100 he is only 50, that means he's a
mm,
very bad driver. He is 90, that means he's a very good driver. So it makes your life very easy. So that kind of, in fact, we are working with Australian government for this, so that they can include this in their driving application form as well, so that the DL and can all this can be connected to it. So
okay.
all those, when you go for
Just
renewal, they,
anytime in life in future, I really want this application for myself.
sure,
And I
sure,
really want to know about NASA. Like, what exactly? Like, can you talk about that a little bit?
sure.
Possible? I'm really curious to know that.
Sure. So it was not related to satellite. So
Okay.
it was something that was related to healthcare. Again, AI and ML was created. It was something that from your voice modulation, you can understand what kind of problem that you have in your body.
Oh.
So, for example, it is still at development stage. There are a lot of research that is going on with
Mm,
it. So, like for example, when you're not feeling well, your voice generally changes. It is not the same voice that you are speaking right now. Either you're
mm,
dull, or your voice becomes heavy, and something or other that is applied. Now, the research has shown, if you correctly curate this data and understand this data, you can, at least on a basic level, see that what kind of problem you have in your body. So the research is going on in that, and you can just speak. So what we are working in, you can just speak on your phone, and based on your voice, it will tell you that, okay, maybe in this area you have a problem, and you need to get it checked.
wow. So actually, such kind of stuff is like getting implemented on real grounds, or is it still in a testing phase? Like, where has it this technology reached in terms of implementation?
So, I mean, there are a lot of things that you're already using in AI/ML. As I said,
No, no,
from
let's say in terms of this voice thing you said that this is
so
really crazy.
it is still in beta. It is not
Beta.
pushed into
Yeah,
the market. Still in beta.
but
There are a
it
lot of
sounds
data needs
really
to be,
exciting.
yeah, it needs to be captured. We are, we have checked with few of the people, but because it is created for mass, it needs to be tested for lot more users. So there's still research going on. There are a lot of still things that we need to work. But yeah, it is in progress, and I think in some time we'll going live with it.
Okay. Okay. Uh, Now, Sudeep, see, our geeks have joined. Many are in college,
Mhm.
aspiring to be coders.
Mhm.
If I talk in terms of designation, software engineers, right, software
Yeah.
developers, all those things. But obviously, I'm very much aware that because I have friends who did transit from this thing coding field to this thing ML, AI, and
Uh-huh.
cloud per se. So, how can developers make a transition from coding to AI ML related in terms of coding language? Like for example, they learn Python, they learn different languages. In what is required in AI ML over there, and how big is the learning curve?
Sure. So, first of all, you need to have that mindset. So, any new technology that you're going to learn is always going to be challenging. When
Hmm.
I started more than a decade ago, the smartphones were not, in India. No one was using smartphone in 2008, 2009. iPhone was still very new. Android was just coming. So, I have never used iPhone, and I joined as an iOS developer. So, the first time I held an iPhone when I was sitting in that company, and they told us this is iPhone and I have to code for it, right? Then I went for coding for training and everything. I have to use the Mac, and I have never used a Mac. And if you know that Mac and Windows have completely different user interface, so
Hmm.
there will be challenges,
At least
and then
initially, it is overwhelming. Initially, if
yeah,
you switch, it's overwhelming. Excellent.
initially yeah, it was difficult, but then after some time, when when you show perseverance, you go with it, and slowly and suddenly I became a good developer. So I went through those challenges, but then I became a pretty good developer and then moved on from that role. But that is one thing that you have to show. You have to be prepare your mind for it first, because if you're not prepared for it, there will be a lot of new challenges, and then you'll not be able to go through those challenges. So first, prepare your mind. Then in terms of languages, yes, Python, Java, and those kind of languages will have help, and you need to learn those languages because the application of those languages will be different, but still will be using those languages. So after you learning those languages, you need to learn some frameworks like TensorFlow, Cafe, PyTorch, those kind of frameworks that you have to learn. For cloud, if I say, you have to learn for AWS or Google Cloud Services. For big data, you have to use Spark. So there are multiple tools that you can use using these technologies, these languages, and then go on with it and work on live projects.
Okay. So, majorly, which language is used if somebody is making a transition? Like Python, I've heard is used a lot,
Yeah,
and database
Python.
related.
Python is
Okay.
one of the most commonly used language in this because it has tremendous power. So Python is one of the most utilized language, but there are other languages, Scala, Java is also been. But there is no limitation as such that you cannot use this language. You can use this language, but Python provides a lot of more good frameworks that you can utilize directly. In other languages, you might struggle with help and support that you'll need in AI and ML.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay. So, let's stick to the transition only. In terms of designation, I want to talk like
Mhm.
career roadmap to AI and ML through coding. Like if
Mhm.
somebody is getting placed from his or her college, right?
Mhm.
And like how can he think of, after how many years should he think of switching to this designation related to these techs? Like how should he go about it?
Yeah, so I mean, you can start right away. There is no time that that you have to wait for these many times, or you have to wait for learning these things. Then only you can start with AI and ML. If you understand the basics of programming language, if you know basics of Python or Java, then you can start right away. There's no limitation on it. Yes, industry experience help. When you know that what you have worked on live projects and there's a new challenge, it will always help. but even as a fresher you can always start with it, and you can work on it. It is again a very similar kind of roadmap as the software developer in AI/ML as well, but the kind of work and the kind of pay scale that you get in these technologies is very different. So a normal web developer might get a X amount of pay scale, but AI and ML developer might get 1.5x or 2x kind of salary.
Okay.
So that is how it is changing, and the job that you will be doing is also very very different. So creating a web application or mobile application, again very interesting thing. You create something that is being utilized by everyone, and you are getting the data from database, from servers and everything. But when you involve AI and ML, it becomes much more interesting. So Snapchat, you can take pictures and you can send pictures. When you apply AI and ML, you can have a doggy face on your face, you can apply filters on your face, so it makes it more interesting, more engaging. So that is how it is going to impact, and that is why the pay scale and the promotions on these technologies are different. But one thing that is you were mentioning in the previous question as well, how you will shift. So as I said, you have to be understanding these tech, but there you need to go through a process. Like what we do is, in our company, if anyone wants to go for AI and ML, first we
Hmm.
give them a course. Like we partnered with you, with Geeks of Geeks, and we give them a course so that they understand AI and ML, they know the basics, and they have gone through it. Then we assign a mentor to them, and what the mentor does is, they're already working on AI ML project, on the live projects, and they help them, those people, to get into those live projects, understand it, and implement what they have learned in live projects as well. So you need to have that kind of mindset where you first go and learn from, for these things, then try to be in the live projects, learn from that. You will understand more when you are learning from live projects. So that is how you need to generally go about it.
Okay. Uh, so as you said, that App Inventive is growing, and believe me, people watching us, they will be great coders, and in this tech, because they're working hard for sure. So what has been App Inventive's hiring trend in this tech, and like maybe if somebody is interested, right, from the audience, maybe they can apply if there's a vacancy and is interested. Like how is it going right now?
Sure.
The hiring
So
trend, yeah, is
I'll,
any
I'll
opportunity?
give you, yeah, I'll give you an holistic approach. We started 6 years back with 10 people. Now we are more than 1,000 people. So that is how we have been growing, and that is how we have been hiring. So we hire experienced people. We hire freshers. I have hired freshers who are now tech experts, because I have hired them a long back, and now they have become tech expert. I have hired people who are expert in and globally recognized on different technologies. So I have hired on different scale, I have hired on different experience, and we have been hiring very aggressively in last almost all the years. And next year we are again planning to hire around 500 people in next 6 months, around which 100 or 150 people will be fresher, and then experienced people. So that is how we have been growing.
So
But if I
how can one apply if somebody wants to apply from the audience, right? So how can you?
Yeah, so you can follow us on LinkedIn. There, whenever we do a campus, you can just, we post that information on LinkedIn and our social media pages. We post that information. You can apply from there. Generally, everything is done online. Online test and online interviews, everything is done online. So you have to just sit at your home and participate in it. But for that information, you need to follow us on LinkedIn.
Okay.
So yeah. So if I talk about specifically to these technologies, AI, ML, I'll tell you, you'll understand the how it is growing. If I talk about 2 years back and now, we have seen specifically in these technology growth is around 400%. So if we were hiring 20 people for a AI and ML, now we are hiring 80 people. So that is how it's been growing. That in fact, in the cloud, because no, cloud is it is even more, because every project needs to be on cloud these days. And when you cater to a global audience, when you do not have a limited audience where you are working just for, let's say, India or just for USA, you have to work around the globe. Everyone is using the application, you have to rely in cloud. So even in cloud we are hiring very aggressively. So that is how it has been growing. We have been hiring very aggressively in these days.
Okay. Okay, fine. My last question to you is that what are some major challenges that you have noticed in hiring resources for this tech? How can the upcoming candidates prepare for such roles?
Yeah, so major challenges is experience. Again, it's very new tech, so you do not cannot hire people who have already have experience in these tech. When you have experienced people, they have gone through that journey where they have learned from their mistakes. They have done mistakes, and now they are learning from it, and now they are more experienced because of it. But in AI ML, it's still very difficult to find people like that. But more than that, we find that the mindset is very important, as I mentioned.
Hmm.
You need to be very perseverance, so you need to show that perseverance, so that you go in that tech and you learn from your mistakes, you go and try new things. And even if it fails for the very first time, then you are confident enough to apply it again, and then reach that success. So one of the main thing that we feel is, if people are coming with that mindset that it is a new tech, I may be failing one or two times, but I'm confident that I'll go again, and make it a success. So that is one thing that we need in these days, even from experienced people and from freshers. As I said, there's no limitation that you can only start after 2 years or 4 years. You can start right away. But yeah, you will face challenges, and you have to have that mindset that you will overcome those challenges.
Okay. All right, Sudeep. Thank you for answering all my questions. Now you can see the comments, right? There are many
Yes.
questions that the students are asking. So let's start picking up few of them and answer them, right?
Mhm.
So just a second. You tell me which one do you want to go with as the first question, and then we can pick up question as they come.
Uh, let me just go through it. There are a lot of
Yeah,
comments.
you can just tell me the timestamp, which is beside the name, so that.
Sure. Just give me a second. Yeah, so one person, I'll just go through the question. I'm not sure, yeah. How to learn programming for AI products, suggest learning platforms, technologies, etc. So I
Okay.
have already answered, yeah,
Yeah.
in one of the questions, that first you need to start with some basic programming languages, where you learn Python, you learn Java, and those kind of tech. Then there are
Hmm.
different frameworks that you have to learn. Like for AI and ML, you need to learn PyTorch. You need to learn those kind of frameworks. And these frameworks you can learn from from online courses that you have, or if your colleges have been teaching. So you can learn from that. If you want to go for cloud, there are again different frameworks. You need to learn DevOps languages, where you need to work on AWS. Again, these courses are available online. You can just find it on Geeks and Geeks on Geeks. So those courses that you can learn, and then try to participate in some hackathon to gain live examples, live project examples. Try to participate in some hackathon and those kind of things, so you can get more into it. uh, Next question, I think there's Femi who is asking, so our business analysts and product owners demand will increase?
Sudeep, you can see what happened at my end.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Let's continue what to do because the
yeah.
inverter is not working right now, and I am sitting in my dark. It's looking so stupid. But okay, fine. We are taking some questions, and let's continue. Sudeep, what to do?
So we can
And
see you,
help.
no worries.
Really sorry about that because it's not in my hands.
No worries, no worries, that's fine.
Sorry. Okay, let's continue. Yes, please, please, please.
Perfect. So one question is asked: so our business analysts and product owners demand will increase? Yes, definitely it is going to increase. Uh, uh, Not just business analysts, they will transition is into data analyst and data scientists. So what will happen is, right now business analysts, they understand the needs of the customer, they understand the needs of potential users, and they create a product and lay out the wireframes and how the product is going to look like. But what will happen is, based on the data that they are collecting from it. So like I gave you example that we have worked with KFC. Now
Hmm.
what we do is, we understand that if changing the home page, how it is going to impact the users, how it is going to
Hmm.
impact checkout process of a particular product. So if you show a particular product on home page, it is going to increase sales or decrease sales, and that is based on data. So like for example, we feel that everyone likes chicken wings, and we put chicken wings in home page, but when people started using it, we felt that okay, orders are going down. So we need to change that, and the new home page will be created, and if there will be something else, and if that order gets increased, so we'll understand that how the people are reacting to it. So now business analyst job will not be till creating the application and talking to the customer. It is also be understanding the data that they are getting from those applications and implementing it in the application.
Okay. And Sudeep, I can see a lot of more questions, so we can take few more if you're okay with it.
Sure,
And
sure.
yeah, so let me see.
So there is one more question that what to
Mm,
start first.
yeah, I
Machine
was about.
learning, yeah,
Hmm.
data science.
Yeah.
So you can start. I mean, it's up to you. Machine learning and data science is a part of AI, artificial intelligence, where you get all the things from the data. Again, data is very crucial for any kind of machine learning and AI. So you can start from anywhere. There are different applications for it. Data science, as I mentioned, will be involved more on understanding the data, giving
Mhm.
businesses about how to what to do next. For example, if uh, IKEA or any other e-commerce giant, they should do next, how their business should go about it, that will be a data scientist job. Machine learning may be involved in speech recognition, may be involved in translation kind of thing, may be involved in applying filters on your face. So there are two different things that you can go on with, and you can choose whatever way you want to go.
Okay. Uh, Next question.
Yeah.
So, is it a similar question? Abhishek is asking, which has more scope in terms of job opportunities, data science or AI/ML? Like, do you think we can talk about this?
Both have, yeah, both have similar opportunities, as I said.
Okay.
Different way of looking at it, different applications of it, but
Mhm.
again both are on in demand right now. If I
Mhm.
talk about current right now, data science is more more booming more, because a lot of people wants to they have the data, they want to understand the data and take decision based on data. So data scientist role is more powerful right now, but I feel AI and ML is going to increase more and more, because everything that we are going to touch is going to have AI and ML. So we can if right now if I talk about data science role, you can go with, but AI and ML is equally a good opportunity.
Okay. Uh, can we talk about Shashank's question? He is asking, what are the requirements for a 1 year experienced person to apply for a AML job? I think it's a good question. At App Inventive, he's asking. Yeah.
Sure. So you can reach out to us. You can share your resumes at hr@appinventive.com. Our HR team will get in touch with you. They will understand what you have done so far. What is your approach? What you have done so far on what is your approach, and what things you want to learn, and see how we can give you that opportunity. So there will be interview process where
Okay.
people will be taking interview. Even if you have not worked on AI/ML, it is not mandatory to have worked on AI and ML. If you're
Right. Because
interested in
you
it,
give a training phase also, right? The
yeah, yeah,
course and all those things. Yeah.
exactly. So there are training phases, there are a mentorship program that we provide. So even
Mm.
if you are not you have not worked with AI/ML, still good. You can join
Mm.
us on the technologies that you are working on, and then transition into AI and ML developer.
Okay. Okay. But it is very nice. Like somebody who wants to, start his career here and has a zeal to learn
Yeah,
and, adapt and is serious about his opportunity. I think App Inventory is a great place for that kind of a candidate. I feel great place
definitely, definitely. And in
because
fact,
it has that environment of learning also and, starting his career in a growing company. I feel.
exactly. I mean, we provide that kind of opportunity. I mean, right now, because we are working, all are working from home, we used to have super Saturdays. What happened in those Saturdays is we teach each other. We, generally invite people from outside who are
Mm.
expert in their technologies. They give sessions, they give lectures, so that we understand more and more about technologies. So what we feel is learning never stops. So for every one of us, even we have been working on this tech from more than 11 years, 12 years, but we still feel there are a lot of learning that needs to be done. And we invite people from different domains who have worked on these domains to give us information about their experience. So that is how we have always been, that is how we have been growing. As I said, I have started very with an iOS developer. Now I'm running a company. So every one of us is aspired to have long term goals, long term shift in their career as well, that how they are seeing themselves right now and how they want to be in near future. So we want to make sure that everyone is growing and everyone is learning new and new things.
That's great. That's really good. Okay, let's take three more questions.
Yeah,
I think.
sure.
Okay, next one. You tell me which one.
Okay.
Can
Let me answer one more question that is related to Appinventiv.
okay.
Software developer engineer career can be started by just getting bachelor's degree, no higher study required, and in AI
Which
mostly required MTech. So
which
yeah,
which question is this?
this is Dipankar Kumar Singh.
Uh, oh, can you tell the timestamp? The
Six
timestamp.
6:35. 6:35.
Okay, okay, wait, wait. Okay. Just a second. All right, all right. Let's talk about this.
Yeah. So no, there's no master's degree required. We are hiring all the students from different colleges even right now who have bachelor's degree, BTech in particular in CS, IT, those kind of technology, those kind of subjects. So there's no specific master's degree required to be hired as a fresher. Even as an experienced person, you need to have experience in live projects. You need to showcase your skills. Degree doesn't matter to us. We never, thank God, light is there.
Right, agree.
So,
Yeah.
so the degree
Okay.
doesn't matter. Even myself, I do not have any master's degree. I'm still a bachelor degree holder.
Okay.
So it doesn't matter to us. You can have a bachelor degree or you can have a master's degree.
Basically, you need hustlers who want to learn and they're serious about their work. Basically,
Exactly,
what I understood.
exactly,
Because you
exactly.
are one of them who try to learn, and I'm also one of them. So, and I
Sure.
understand what you're saying. That's great.
Perfect.
I think that's a great mindset because
Mhm.
that clearly shows कि वहाँ काम ज़्यादा होता है और समझ रहे हो काम होता है वहाँ पता चल रहा है.
Exactly, exactly.
Great man. Okay, next question लेते हैं. Let's start
Mhm.
with the next one. Okay, Nitish is asking. He has an offer as a data scientist intern, and he's in his final year. Should he accept it?
Yes, definitely. Call from college, you can learn about a lot of things, but again, being on live project, being in that environment is something different. So if you have a chance of being an intern for a data scientist, program, you should definitely take it because it will give you an experience of live projects. You will learn a lot more than you will learn just in college. So you should definitely take it.
Okay. Okay. One more question. Let's take last question.
Hmm.
You tell me which one, please.
Okay, just a second. I'm just going through the question.
Non-CS background also we can talk about non-CS IT background. We haven't addressed that yet. Can we talk about that? Shoaib is
So
asking.
that's fine
Uh,
if you are again if you are interested in coding and you have done some work, because as a company we cannot start from basics, from we cannot teach you when you are when we are teaching you English, we cannot teach you ABC, but we can if you learn that ABC, then after that we can take you in and we can train you. So if you know about languages, if you have learned few of the languages, C++, at least the basic, then I don't think any other thing is required. So even if you're not having that degree in CSIT, but you have learned some programming languages, you know about it, you can apply to us and we'll take your interviews. And if you got selected, we will definitely work with you. So there's no limitation as such.
okay. And Saurabh is asking, does Appinventiv hire freshers? I think I already answered that. If you're good and you have the zeal to learn and you can crack your interviews, definitely there's an opportunity. है ना?
Yeah, yeah,
तो
definitely. And you can we will be doing a campus we are currently doing campus placement where we are going to different campuses, but we'll be doing off campus very soon, and you can get that information from our social pages.
Okay. And what about BTech? Is BTech mandatory for getting a job in AML?
No, as I said, what matters is
Like, but
your.
the options would be very less. Like, options would be very less, right? Appinventiv is one of like, I
Yeah,
understand that Appinventiv का culture है, but बहुत कम companies का ऐसा culture होता है जो like who think like this, like एकदम raw कि जो बंदे को आता
mhm.
है नहीं आता है. So, but
Yeah,
in
I
generally
mean,
BTech would help, right?
yeah, I mean, big companies generally do that because they do not have time to invest in those people. They generally hire in masses, and they, generally does not involve you as much. So yeah, it will definitely help if you have BTech or MTech degree in it. But a lot of companies are recognizing that degree doesn't matter anymore. It's still very initial phase, but a lot of companies are recognizing that if you have the knowledge, if you have that confidence to present yourself, I think that will be enough.
I think it's a big shift which will happen if this happens like 100. Like, oh, BTech business, what will happen to that? I wonder.
No, there still be BTech business because a lot of people, once you you'll see that there's a lot of IT boom. Everyone would want to do that. So if I'm in 12th and know that I want to go in that direction, I'll definitely do that. BTech and everything. But if someone for some reason have gone to different industry, different course, and they realize after some time that they are more interested in it, then there will be still space open for them. But again, they
Okay.
need to do some extra work, because it will not be easy to land a job interview at that time. They have to do some of the job, like participate in hackathon, make some live project and post it on Git, so that you can showcase that on your resume that even though you are not having a BTech degree, you have done all those things that a person with that skill set will do. So you have to do that extra effort in order to get recognized that you have that skill set.
Okay. All right. I think we can stop here, right? Or you want to take one more? Kunal is saying, okay, last one. He's talking about certification. Just
Mhm.
certification courses from different universities, from different platforms, helping getting a job. What are your suggestions on these courses?
Yeah, definitely. Because not every company provide you an opportunity to learn on live projects. So if you do not have a experience on live projects, how do you learn? You can go through this platform and learn the basics of it. Most of the programs provide some of the test sample work as well. So you'll get your hands dirty on it, and you will understand more about these technologies. So when you go for an interview, when you want to go for a AI and ML job, at least the basics of it, and even those degrees, the people who are taking your interview, they will understand that you are serious about it. You are taking your time and learning about it, and then you are coming for the interview, not just saying that I want to go for that job. So yeah, it is definitely going to
Okay. Uh, Great. Kunal says thank you.
help.
You're
Thank
welcome,
you.
sir. Yeah. So that was it, Sudeep, from my end. And thank you so much for joining us and answering so many questions. It
No
was a
problem.
really, to be frank, I learned a lot. And that vaccine thing and the voice thing which you said, right? Definitely, I'm going to Google it later. Like, what is it exactly? So it's very
Sure.
interesting. Like, अगर आप आवाज सुन के बता सकते हो, like nothing
So
like
I'm not
that.
sure vaccine you will get. I'm not sure about the voice thing you will get. If I'll find the link, because it was done. The research was done by two scientists who we are working with. I'm not sure they have published it yet. I have not discussed with them, but if they have published it, you will find it online.
All right. Great. So some really lovely comments are coming. Just it was worth watching. People are saying, and they loved the session. And thank you so much, whoever is showing admiration for this podcast. Because as I said, Sudeep will definitely create a highlight video out of this, and we'll
Sure.
distribute it further. Because it was a great session, and I really feel that students who are aspiring to be good coders, they should also know what other opportunities they have once they are
Sure.
have built up a base there. So it would be really interesting.
Sure.
uh, and Sudeep, what you are doing is amazing, and Good luck to you, and thank you so much for coming and joining us in our podcast. It was my
lovely.
pleasure to host you.
It was lovely to be here, and it was lovely to interacting with everyone.
Thank you, Sudeep. Thank you so much. I'll just talk with the geeks for a minute, and then
Sure.
all right.
Okay. Thank you so much. Thank
Bye.
you, everyone.
Bye, Sudeep. Bye. All right. So, if you have any questions, right, related to what career opportunities are there at Appinventiv and anything else you want to ask about the hiring process, you can feel free to shoot all your questions at career@appinventiv.com. So that was it, guys. Take care. Akshay this side, and stay safe, stay healthy. Please use mask and sanitizer still. I do that, so I always advise. Keep learning, keep growing. Akshay this side. Bye. Sign.